Good evening. Happy Wednesday to you. Hopefully you can see and hear me okay. I'm just checking to see that there are people in the comments already. So hopefully those of you that are watching can see me, and it's Why Not Wednesday. So here we are again, another week, April. Can you believe it? In fact, it's still quite light outside. I have got the blackouts down because I think it's probably going to turn dark while we're live tonight, but it's starting now, isn't it? Those longer, sunnier days, and the weather has been glorious, I must admit. It's kind of a breezy day today, but just the sunshine and the blue skies just make us all feel better, don't they? Let me just see if everyone can see and hear me. I can see some lovely familiar names in the chat. So we've got Lynn and Julie and Melanie and Anne and Dawn, Rollison, Paul Lifton, Vanessa, Joyce, Donna. Donna's there with. I don't know if Steve's arrived yet. Donna, have you got Steve yet? I did get him. So you were the first person to order, Steve. I have to admit, it did make me chuckle when your order came in. Hello, Jane, lovely. Heidi, lovely to see you. It is chilly, Lynn. It's a kind of I can't decide what I'm wearing. I kind of keep on putting on a t-shirt, then getting cold, and it's in between weather, isn't it? But it is just nice to have the blue skies and the light. Talking of Steve's, I will have to be fairly brief this evening because my Steve, Mr. G, has a nasty cold, man flu. So he's sniffling away downstairs and feeling very sorry for himself. So I promised I wouldn't be too long on my live. Hello, Ali, lovely. Astrid, lovely to see you. Jane, oh, great. I'm glad that you're all kind of finding me and tuning in as usual for our Wednesday. It's because that's Steve. It's because that's Mr. G's name, Jane. That's why I decided to call the pigeon Steve, because it's named after Steve Gray, who is pretty grumpy most of the time, and I thought the pigeon's expression just reminded me of him. So I did think about going with the name starting with P, so you got the alliteration, but it just looks just like my husband. So I thought he'd want to be immortalized in stamp form, so that's why we called it Steve. Hi, Iona, Selena, Karen. I know, bless him. He's not very impressed, actually. I showed it to him and he said, "Oh, that's cool." I called him Steve. That didn't go down well, I have to say. Sue, lovely to see you. Helen and Belinda. Well, and Belinda can absolutely back me up that Steve the pigeon does look exactly like Steve Gray, Mr. G. So yes, he does look fabulous. I've got him here on the desk to show you, because obviously we brought out 2 new A7 stamps at the beginning of the week, and we've wrapped that into a 3 for 2 offer on A7 stamps across the range in the shop. So I will show you both Steve the pigeon and also the beautiful kind of half-tone design that Belinda put together for us as well. So they're the 2 new entries on the A7s. But it Belinda says it's quite uncanny. Well, Belinda, you'll be in major trouble for saying that on a live. Oh, hi, Carol. You can't see. Oh, I can see your comments on Facebook, Carol. I can't always, but you're coming up with the Facebook logo. So if you're watching me on Facebook, your comments come into my feed, so I can see it this evening. Lovely. So it's a new release night. I'm always super excited. And this has been a release that I have had in the works for quite some time. And you've heard me say it before, but it's always just trying to kind of shuffle things and work out a good time to bring a collection out. And this has been a kind of pet project of mine because I love Matisse and I love that kind of whole abstract modernist artwork. It's something that I've been wanting to put kind of translate into craft form for quite some time. So it's a mini collection. It's not a massive collection. There isn't a whole heap of product with it, because obviously, again, we're always looking at trying to keep things cost effective for you. So I really, really, really hope you like this as much as I do. I've got fabulous samples from the design team, of course. So we'll have a look through those. Now, I've got a 2-hour show on live shopping VIP tomorrow, 9 till 11. So it's a 2-hour blockbuster, rather than 2 separate hours, with the lovely Amanda, who hopefully is watching this evening. So we'll be doing demos and talking more about the collection then. Hopefully, if I don't talk too much tonight, I'll try and get a cheeky little demo in at the end as well. So I won't take too much time blethering on at you all and having a chat. I'll keep an eye on the comments, and I'll kind of come back in and out with comments as I see them. Hello, Hannah, lovely. Oh, you're fading, Helen. Oh, bless you. Yeah, maybe there is something going around. Maybe there is something going around with coughs and colds. Certainly, Mr. G has got it the worst of anybody in the UK. I'm just putting it out there. Yeah, well, I do a lot of blethering, Dawn, to be fair. Now, what else do I need to say to you? So we're live shopping tomorrow, 9 till 11. So I'm going to try and pack the demos in with that. And Amanda and I have had a chat today, and we will try and really kind of get lots of different ways of using this collection. Because it's abstract, it's one of those where it doesn't necessarily immediately in the packaging kind of, look like something you say it's what the image is, if that makes sense. So I'll show you in a minute. But what I do need to say before I turn the camera around is we'll do 2 giveaways this evening, because it's a new launch. So we've got to have giveaways. And I will be giving 2 lucky winners who our wonderful Ali will pick from the chat. I will give 2 winners the core collection. So the kind of the main collection that I'm going to share with you this evening. So remember, if you can like and share, fabulous. But the key thing is, obviously, if you're taking part in the chat and Ali can see that you're in the live and commenting, then at least she knows you're there to be able to pick your name from that group. Right. Oh, tonsillitis. Yeah, this probably is a bit worse than Mr. G, but I wouldn't admit that. Right. Oh, somebody had good news. Oh, it's your daughter. Oh, I'll read back in the comments, Lynn, but that sounds like good news. Fingers crossed. That would be brilliant if it is good news. Ruth, hello, lovely to see you. Celia, right, you're all kind of rolling on in now, aren't you? So let me turn. Amanda, lovely to see you too, lovely. Thank you for liking and sharing. Oh, I'm glad it's good news, Lynn. Oh, that's really wonderful. Brilliant. I'm so glad. Congratulations. That's made my evening. Wonderful. Right, let's turn the camera around and let's have a look at some bright and bold and colourful Matisse inspired artwork. Have I said hello to you, Glynis? Hello, lovely. Your order's in, I see. You're quick off the mark. Right. So the reason I'm not selling the book. But this is my book, and it's one of the reasons that this collection came about, is because of this artwork that I just think is a point in Matisse's career where, because he was less kind of physically mobile and able, he started to cut out abstract shapes from brightly coloured and painted papers. And of course, you get such vibrant and free and kind of playful projects as a result. Anything goes, really. And that's what I love about this, and why I thought it would work so great for us as crafters. You get these kind of strong figures in there, abstract kind of silhouette figures, strong kind of florals and foliage imagery as well, like these kind of recurring motifs. So that's really just, I thought I'd have a quick flick through and show you. This is kind of the jumping off point. I that I used when I was putting this collection together, just so you can kind of get a sense of what inspired me, and also hopefully gives you a sense of the fact that this is one of those collections where you can absolutely kind of be playful, free, not overthink, go with your strong colors. We're getting to that summertime where we want to be able to kind of get out those strong colors. The organic shapes make it really easy to kind of get fabulous results over inky backgrounds as well, which of course is another great thing with solid imagery, is of course you can have lots of fun with your backgrounds, and then you've got the artwork that can go over the top of that and have a lot of impact. So yeah, obviously this was the starting point, and you can see with that kind of color combo, particularly that blue yellow black and white, I really love that. So in terms of the image I put on Facebook earlier, in terms of my makes, I've used that quite a lot in terms of the colour combination I've used for my projects. I don't have papers with this collection. There are two reasons really, well there's three, but there's two reasons. One being that I think this is a collection where it's very much about putting that kind of creativity into your hands, so you can kind of use up all those backgrounds that you've been making, because these solid images are going to work well with it. The other is we've only just bought out the mixed media compendium papers, and my intention with that larger pad was you've got all those painterly and arty backgrounds that you can use with this if making backgrounds is something that you don't enjoy doing quite so much. So you've got that colourful, those colourful papers that will work brilliantly with this. And the third reason is I've got a fabulous set of papers coming at the end of April, and I didn't want to overload you with papers. So that's the third reason. So I just want to be kind of be really honest. We do have papers coming later this month. And I thought 2 paper pads in 1 month is probably a bit of a tall order. So yeah, gel plate backgrounds, perfect, Glynis. You know, I mean, anything, those backgrounds that even you're not that keen on, because you've got these solid images, you're going to be able to transform them with this artwork. So I'm rattling on, or as Dawn would say, blethering on. So let me show you the kind of the two kind of core bits of this collection, and then we'll have a look at the stencils. So of course we've got our A5 stamp set, which, as you can see, hopefully from that flick through in the book, exactly where that artwork is being drawn from. You've got your kind of your dancing figures, really kind of stylized imagery. Your flowers, your foliage, they're all very kind of loose, so they're great for pattern building. This one in particular, I absolutely love for pattern building, because you can kind of be quite geometric with it and build grids and full backgrounds, or you could use it as sunshine or petals on a flower. It's all about your imagination. So you can see I've got quite a lot of artwork in here, but reasonable size as well. I didn't want them to get lost on your background. So that's your A5 stamp set. And then we've got a set of dies, which are these kind of modernist shapes, and I absolutely love these. Particularly this big, I'm going to call it a splat. I don't really know what to call it. That's what I love. It is, these shapes are very, very organic and loose. So of course you've got imagery here that looks like a large leaf. You've got a vase type shape, but uneven. It is not a precise. My intention was that it looked like something somebody would have hand cut out in the way that kind of Matisse did with his. So you've got your florals. This is a great one because of course you get your 2 shapes. You get your outer frame and also the inner shape as well. So again, great for, I was using this kind of create puddles and other kind of loose shapes on my projects. So there's a lot of things you can do just with the die set. Jeannie, you've got to look. You've got to look. What else in the core collection? So then I've done a stencil, which is this background stencil. Again, same images, translated across into a slightly smaller format to make a background. So again, this is great for kind of extending on, making it bigger, inking through 2 or 3 times to get a mix of different colours. Really, really lovely one, this. And then in the core collection, I'm trying to have a think, we've got this figure, which I absolutely love. So again, I'm certainly not somebody who can draw figures, but this is great for journaling. It's a nice size. You could journal inside of it. You could use it as a silhouette against really vibrant papers. It's just, there's a lot of potential with this. You could extend it. You could put hair on the figure, you know, depending on how you want to use it. You could put wings on it. It's you know, the Matisse figures were very stripped back, so my idea was this is a simple form, but there's a lot you could do to customize it for different styles. So this, 2 stencils, A5 stamp set, the dies are the core collection. And yeah, exactly, under the water scenes as well, Ruth. You're right, absolutely right, with seaweed and those kind of things. It's all about context, isn't it? And the colours you use, it's going to evoke different things. Distracting myself mid-sentence there, apologies. So that's the core collection, and with this core collection, I am giving the Mediterranean Moods embossing powders for free. So I'm just putting those in on top of that collection. My reasoning being, well, there's a couple of reasons. I've still got quite a lot of stock, being totally honest. So, and I don't want it to go to waste. I want it to get used and appreciated. But also, when you look at things like the colours, I've left the sample board downstairs for heading out tomorrow. But when you look at the colours in this vibrant blue, this kind of rich, earthy terracotta, and this beautiful olive green, which has got gold in it as well, you can just imagine how beautifully they go with this collection. Particularly, as I say, there's a lot of the Matisse artwork seems to kind of favour blue, so your silhouettes in blues, your vase can be the terracotta, you've got your foliage imagery. So I didn't want it to be should I, shouldn't I. I'm just throwing those in with the core collection as a bonus. So for the 2 winners of the giveaway this evening, it'll be those 2 stencils, stamps, dies, and a set of the powders. And when you purchase the core collection, those powders will be in your package as well. Yeah, I do. So I was just reading Lisa's comment. It is. I mean, given our last collection was just trying to get it right, was the mid-century one. This is another completely different era, style, type of artwork, and I just love being able to move between all those different genres and give you different things, but hopefully collections that will work across. Obviously, lots of these things will translate across. I see how well you will combine our products into different makes, but equally, at least there's enough artwork in here that you can follow that theme through if that's what really appeals to you. So yeah, that blue is called Santorini blue, and so it does to me feel very, very Matisse in its style. So that's the core collection. I'm super excited. I really, really hope that you all like it and that it sparks your imagination, and you start to think about what you might do with it and how you would make it something that you would craft with. Excuse me, I've got a little tickle. I've probably got the Mr. G bug. I have also got a separate stencil which is available as an individual in the shop, which are the dancers. And this is a super cool one because actually these images are, I'm fairly sure I checked today, they are the same size as the stamps. So of course you can do different techniques with your stencils. You can use it with your pastes, etc., which you can't do with the stamps. But of course they also make great shadows, because of course you can obviously have them working in whatever direction, and because they're the same size as the stamp image, you can have them as a kind of shadow to the main dancer. So the dancers is a separate element that you'll find in the shop. which isn't part of the core collection, which is why I kept it to one side. Does that all make sense? You made a fabulous page with the dancers, Ali. It made me laugh out loud when I read it. I'll be showing that in a second. So that's Matisse. Yes, I am. I'm going to show you the tags in a second, Jane. I'm coming to the tags. That's Matisse. These are the two A7s that I mentioned that we had added to the store early. Just for those of you that don't get the newsletter or missed it, this is brilliant. This half tone from Belinda, really, I love it because it's just really organic, quite distressed. Obviously, kind of based on a half tone stencil, so it will carry across. But the fact that you don't have a straight line around the edge makes it really easy and cool to use. And then there's our lovely Mr. G in stamp form. Actually, it looks like he's lost a few pounds, to be honest. But that is Mr. G. He's so funny, isn't he? And of course, he'll go great with the sentiment stickers, with all those snarky sentiments. You know, you can just, I mean, obviously we've got who are you looking at there, but you can imagine all the different sentiments on the sticker stack that he will complement nicely. So yeah, bless him. There's our Steve. He didn't quite make it into the Matisse collection. I couldn't quite see a way of making him fit Matisse. But as I say, the long lobbying for a pigeon-related stamp, mainly led by our Donna. Donna used to send me memes and messages with pigeons, on, and hopefully that long campaign has finally paid off. So at least we have a pigeon in the range. And so you can't say I don't listen. It took me ages to find Steve. Now the tag dies. The tallest tag in our new tag dies is 17.5 centimeters tall, Jane. So I'm looking for a ruler. So bigger than a 6x6 in height. Because what are they? They're 15 centimeters, aren't they? So the intention is, and I'm going to show you in a second. There you go. Yeah, 17.5. The intention is that they will work brilliantly with the spine and be a nice size for you to be able to make journals from. So obviously you can make cards. I make kind of tag shaped card here, but my intention, and I don't know, those of you that were following me, have been following me for a little while, know that I've not been very good at keeping up with it, but I am attempting to do the 100-day project, which is kind of doing a creative kind of themed project every day for 100 days. And I've been doing tags. And so, of course, that got me thinking it would be great to be able to bind them, but I wanted a bigger shape tag to enable me to make kind of journal size pages. So that is what I have brought to you. What you'll see in the shop is the tags as they are. So there are 5 in the set. Let me tell you what the smallest one is. So the smallest one is 11.5 by my specs, 6.5. So that's the smallest, and the biggest one's 17.5 by 10, I think it is. So good size for creating on if you like to do your concertina tag books, making it for a card, perfect. Because I like a tag shape, and I like a project that isn't overwhelming. If I don't have a lot of time but want to make something that I can journal, I just think these are a nice project to be able to start and complete. So in the shop, you can get these as a set, as an independent item. I have also bundled them together. I don't have a set with me now. I have also bundled them together with the disc spine dies and a set of discs at a really good price. I think, from memory, I think it's about £30 for the tags, the spine dies, and a set of discs, which I think if you put it all together should be about £41. So if you haven't yet invested in the disc spines and that whole journaling system, this could be the way in for you. If you want another set of the disc spines, because it's easier and quicker to be able to cut several at the same time, then that combo might work as well, but they're available as an individual. Well, I was sharing them on Instagram, Glynis, but I kind of fell off the wagon the other week with the NEC, and then of course I started doing these tags and didn't want to share these because they had the Matisse collection on. So I'll start putting them back onto Instagram now that the products are live. So how did Selena, in terms of making the card, all I did was I just put the cutting edge of the top of the die just over the edge of the fold. So I folded the card already, so it was a kind of like a rectangular card, and then I put, I think I put the dies downstairs again, my open dies downstairs for tomorrow, but I just put the cutting edge just off the top here, so it didn't cut through at the top. Does that make sense? And then it ensures you've got your hinge, but it still keeps a nice tag shape. You can, of course, just cut out a tag and then cut a separate tag and attach it at the back, and create a fold here, so it opens up, but it's as easy just to have the edge off the top. Bullet holes. I dread to think what that was in response to, Lynn. So yeah, that is everything. That is everything new. As I say, hopefully not overwhelming. Everything, as always, is available individually. There's no pressure, no expectation that you buy the core collection. The only kind of real additional bonus is it's obviously slightly less. There's a discount on the full value, and you get your embossing powders for free. But other than that, everything is available for you to pick and mix to suit your budget and suit your style. So I'm hoping you're liking it. I'm hoping you're seeing something a little bit different that's got you kind of intrigued and thinking about what you could do with it. And let me show you some super, super cool stamps that look like bullet holes. Sometimes it's difficult to follow the chat. Oh, the starburst. Kerry, that's a good shout. Do you mean that? Do you mean these, Astrid and Lynn? These, the circle bursts on the A7s. They're an A7, one of the A7 stamps. So if you're doing a 3 for 2, you might go for the half tone, Steve, and the circle bursts. The bubble wrap's back in stock. Well, I mean, we've got loads, as you know. The lovely I'm Fine bird, the coffee cat's there. Lots of Zinski. There's loads to choose from. So yes, I've been flicking through my tags, and I'll definitely make some tags in the live shopping hour tomorrow, because they're my current favorite thing. And this is what I was meaning about that abstract shape in the dies. Look, I just thought, it just struck me it looked a bit like a puddle, because I'd cut it out of blue paper. So our dancers dancing through the puddles in this one. This is what I mean about that fabulous kind of squared design on the stamp set. It can make great patterns and borders. You could do it all as a kind of full square frame if you wanted for a focal point. So I look it really easy to line that one up. And of course, then you've got your dies and your stamps here. So it's really, really easy. The reason my sunflowers are in here is a heads up, they are on sale in the live shopping hours tomorrow at a really cool price. So I will do a demo with those tomorrow. I thought the sunflowers went nicely with Matisse and the kind of the vibrant colours. So the sunflower stencil and die are on sale tomorrow in live shopping. These are our dancers. Now remember as well with the dancers, that stencil, which I don't know what I've done with them now. You don't need to use them in the formation they are on the stencil. You could just stencil one or two. You can cut them out as figures. So again, they're there for you to use in whatever configuration you want. This is some of the mixed media medley paper, which again is just kind of a nice quick way for me to pretend like I've done a gel print and then stenciled over the top with black paint. And then again, bubble wrap here, stenciling in the background. There, those fabulous circle bursts as flowers this time. It's really, really fun to start to play with things that you can kind of create your own pictures from. So there's the tag. And then here is an A5 page that I've done in a very similar kind of way, but on A5. So I've got my circle burst as a sun. I've got the half tone here, and the half tone stamp. I spritzed it with water and created quite a watery look. And that's what I mean about the stencil, almost creating a bit of a shadow. So our dancer's dancing in the sunlight, and the shadow is kind of formed on the ground beneath him or her. Really, really easy. Now, let's get on to some of the DT samples. So our Brian has worked a real kind of wonder here with that figure. He stamped the affirmation stamp. Do you remember the A6 affirmation stamp that was the giveaway in January for the birthday? I think I'll put it back on the shop now for anybody who wasn't following in the birthday and would like it. I think it is now available. But he stamped it and then cut out the stencil to create that figure with those fabulous positive words in there. He's done a bit of kind of wet stamping with the stencil in the background. And I love this one that he's done on the other side, where again we've got that abstract shape again, grounding our vase with the flowers. It's just really, really easy to create vibrant pages with this collection. Talking vibrant, I love this figure. So again, he's inked it in a variety of colours this time. It says vibrant there. So that's from the affirmation stamp again. It's clever that he's isolated an individual word. And then just with that black background, how that really pops. And then look at these pages. So this for me, look, is just like something out of the Matisse book that we were looking at the beginning, isn't it? Just fabulous. So again, he's just had fun, or hopefully he's had fun, stamping. These are all, yeah, they are. These are all the stamps from the A5 set in bright colours to create that background. And how wonderful does that look? So there's no kind of, careful precision. Oh, is that by Ali? Was that Ali? Ali, is that you? Oh, sorry. I thought it was Brian. It's got your name on it, Brian, there. Anyway, these are fabulous. What's yours too, Kerry? Which one? This one? Well, it's fabulous. Is that yours, Kerry? Oh, anyway, the design team have made fab pages, and they'll show us in the Facebook group who's made what, and therefore we'll know who the creator was of them. But they're wonderful. But yeah, that to me is like a page from the book already. Now this one definitely is Brian because it's got Brian's name on the back. Maybe Kerry's are the two-sided ones. Kerry, are they yours? Well, thank you. They're fabulous. And so this one's from Brian. So if that's from Kerry and that's from Brian, you can see how well they marry up, even though they're created independently. And you've got here, there's the kind of, again, this is using the dies for creating the shapes behind the figure, and that figure, I think, oh, you cut it out, Brian. Sorry, I just realised. So the figure is cut out with the paper behind it, which looks awesome. Then let's have a look. I think this one's from Ali, but I'm nervous now. It's from Ali. I love this from Ali. So she's gone for a slightly darker colour palette here. Those leaf dyes look great. And then she's used the stencil with the radiant rose in the background there. So that looks really atmospheric, doesn't it? Really strong. And this is the page I was talking about from Ali. So she's got the dancers here against a really kind of rich, glowing background. But she's used this sentiment from the sticker stack, which is, "It's all fun and games until Santa checks the naughty list." That just made me laugh because I just thought, yeah, they do look like they're having too much fun. So it's really a really clever way of using that sentiment. And then who's this one by? It's by Ali. Just so I'm checking now the names on the back of them. And she's used Olive Grove, I think. Yes, it is definitely Olive Grove and the Tuscan terracotta on the stenciled figure and the background. Isn't that fabulous? Oh, and you've cut the that abstract die shape from vellum as well, just to frame the figure. Ooh, it gives them hair, doesn't it? I didn't even notice that until just now. Brilliant. So these pages are full of fabulous textures and colours. Lots of real interest here. This is a card that I made, and I've used, I don't know if you can catch any of this slight shimmer, this Santorini blue embossing powder just has a very, very subtle shimmer to it. So that's a stencil, heat embossed against some yellow, simple as. They use the circle from the inside to create the central circle. On this one, Tuscan terracotta embossing powder there on the vase, and then obviously some of the dies to make that arrangement. So they're a nice size to be able to really create a good focal point on your cards as well as on your pages. And here I've used just a simple splat with the half tone. You see it in the yellow there, half tone around the edges just to soften the edges there with one of our stickers. I mean, that's just really such a quick and simple card. Talking about that splat, Ali did an amazing sample. Where is it? Here it is. Look at this. So she's created the 3 splats and laid them up so they've got real dimension like chipboard, and then heat emboss them, and they look stunning, don't they? And then she's got a fabulous shimmery background with all the stamps in the background too, but they really pop, that black against the shimmering blue behind it. Really cool. So again, from simple and fairly plain through to making them real statement pieces. I have done one of the figures here, excuse me, and this time I've used sparkling sapphire Stella paste on it, so you can see, I mean, that literally for that Stella paste to go over a stencil that's got that much open space and give you that kind of coverage is a really good testament to how packed full of glitter that is. And I've just placed that over a stenciled and stamped background just in those lovely fresh colours. This is what I was meaning about the square stamp. I've just made a kind of tile for the front of this card by using some ultra thick embossing powder over the top of it. Really, really simple, but hopefully, as you can see, quite effective. So great for card making as well as our journaling. Now, who's this by? This is by Brian. And I love this again, just those vibrant stamping in the background, and then 2 of the figures, which have been, I think he must have used the stencil because they're cut out of black paper. So again, you can really use the stencil, the dancer stencil and the stamps really work hand in hand. I love this one. I think it's by Kerry, because it doesn't have a name on it. So I'm working on the basis, Kerry, that if it doesn't have a name on, it's yours this evening. So again, a watercolory background with the stencil. These will be the stamps, I'm fairly sure, to create that circular kind of motif around the middle, and a bit of the white foliage around the corners. So cool. Isn't that great? And then we have a Brian, and he's done a couple using this using the stencil really creatively in the background and on the stenciled figure, so really kind of softens the look, that kind of watercolory look in the background there with our vase, and here with our kind of silhouette figure. That makes them really kind of almost like merge into the foliage, doesn't it? Love that. Love that look. I love this one by Ali. This is so creative, I think. This is what I mean about the abstract shapes, really letting you take it where you want to. So she's used one of the sentiments on the sticker stack, which is another one that always makes me chuckle. And that is, love is spending the rest of your life with someone that you want to kill, but not doing it because you'd miss them. That's life with me and Mr. G, really. So she's got the figure there, and then she's made these kind of those foliage images into like, I don't know what animals you'd call them, but they just look great. I'm assuming like they're animals. To me, they look like they're chasing the figure. Isn't that so cool? It really, really, really is such a really clever image. I keep looking at it. I would have never thought to use them like that. Brilliant. And then I think this is at Ali again. A watercolory background here for the vase, nice and simple and crisp white over the top. And then that Tuscan terracottas there on the flowers. And she's used one of the flowers almost as a decoration on the neck of the vase as well. So there were just so many ways to use these. And I'll finish with this one here. I think it's a Brian. No, it's a Kerry. Because it doesn't have a name on. That's my powers of deduction. And I love this. Look at this. So again, perfectly simple, but just so cool as well. Just really that repeat motif in the primary colours, creating that grid, and then having the vase popping over the top. So isn't that just great? So, you know, to go from kind of this storytelling one here with a kind of almost a slightly kind of surreal twist to it, to something really graphic and contemporary. Just brilliant. So thank you, as always, to the Super Cool Design team for everything that they do. There is not a collection that I can throw at them that they don't kind of convert into some really inspiring samples. And I know we all really appreciate the work that they put in. And I know they'll be putting all of their makes on the socials over the course of the next few days, so you'll be able to see them in more detail and really enjoy and appreciate them. And say whether it's a card, whether it's a journal, whether it's one of the tags, the scaling of this artwork, I think you can expand it or work smaller depending on what your preference is. No, did she? Sorry, I'm reading Helen's comment about the your cousin was an exhibition diver, a swimming champion. Oh, very good. Yes, it's a great silhouette, isn't it? I mean, again, it can be evoke so many things, and of course, I've used it in black here, but you use them in all sorts of colours. And in fact, I think I've used them in a sample for tomorrow with the Stella paste through the stencil and to get that vibrant blue look. Do any of the stencils have a mask in them? I don't think so. No, I haven't done the masks for these, Jane, in terms of the dancers and stuff. I've just left it with the apertures rather than the mask, rather than the figures. So that would be the only one I think that would work with masks. And I don't have the masks in that one. Sorry. So yeah, they're a bit too clever for their own good, aren't they? So let's have a quick, if you can bear with me, and hopefully Mr. G doesn't expire in the meantime. I thought I'll do a tag because of course we've got a nice surface, and of course it will meet one of my 100 day tag targets, and it's not too big a surface area for me to be working on. So this one I've already started, as in created a bit of a background with some sprays. And what I did and what I've been loving doing is, while the surface is wet with the sprays, is using the half-tone stamp to kind of stamp, lift the ink and stamp it around the edges, so you get that kind of slightly distressed look, but just a little bit more texture. I don't know if you can catch it there, but it's a nice way of creating a bit of background interest while the sprays are wet. Just keep working them with the stamp. Couldn't finish that sentence then. Right, so all I'm going to do, I think, is just create a little scene, because for me just put my samples somewhere safe. To me, the kind of the greens and the yellows, nice kind of natural background there in the colours. Oh, I'm not sure my Steve's going to want to spend his whole life reminding people of pigeons. It's made me laugh, though, I'll tell you what. So I'm opening a fresh one, fresh stamp set, that is. Let's see. So I've had lots of fun, and obviously the design team have as well, with the VersaFines, because they're great for stamping, getting great impressions with these solid stamps, solid images. And of course they've got some fabulous colours in that range. So if you're going to go for something really colourful, you'll find a nice combination with the VersaFines, I'm sure. Just trying to find some acrylic blocks. And I thought what I'd do, very similar to some of the samples I've shown you, but I really do like this figure here. I just think that that's really, it just looks so joyful. So I'm wanting to have my figure running through the trees. So I want to put some foliage around the edge of the tag. And also in this one, I don't know if I mentioned before, but there is another vase type shape as well. So you can absolutely stamp. We've got obviously the vase in the dies, but if you were just making one purchase, I wanted you to have the imagery in the stamp set that would enable you to make a full composition if you wanted to. So these obviously aren't primed stamps, because I'm just opening them now, but hopefully I haven't had any issues with anything that I've stamped out so far. So this one I'm using avocado to start with, and again this is a nice when you're trying to build up these kind of kind of foliage type backgrounds. This is a nice one for that kind of stamping several times to get your kind of your second and third generation there, and make it look like you've got the leaves in a variety of thicknesses. So I'm starting with probably the slightly lighter green, because then we can build up over the top and get the I've got Shady Lane as my dark green. Just again, I could just, honestly, I have never made samples so quickly as I have with these stamps, because they are just so easy to use. There we go. Right, let's get another shape. And they're a nice size as well for creating kind of full backgrounds quite quickly. Which one should we go? I like this one. So yeah, let's go with the darker green, just because it will pop a bit more. There's quite a lot of green in that background already. So yeah, that darker green immediately looks like it's further to the front, doesn't it? An arty walk. Of course it's an arty walk, Vanessa. There we go. So I could keep going. In fact, I will keep going just with one more because these are quite nice, big, kind of round leaves. Again, there's nothing specifically leaf-like about them, so it's our imagination that's translating them into being foliage. But this one I thought might be, it looks a little bit, it's a slightly smaller one, but it'll maybe look a little bit more like vines. And then we can put some flowers on them as well. So this would be great. Cut the edge. This would be great. It's a great flower stem as well. I'll show you in a second. You see there. So you put it the other way up. And it's a great kind of flower stem. It's slightly more delicate than the other ones, so you can put your flower heads on it, or it goes nicely, it's scaled nicely to go in the vase. Hello, Debbie. Oh, I'm glad you like it, because I know you're saying you like Matisse, and I always feel a bit under pressure that I do it justice. I honestly could have gone on further, but I think we've got some of the main motifs in here. You know, the things that you'd most commonly associate with that Matisse style of art. So I think I've given you enough to really kind of convey that style. It's very difficult knowing when to stop sometimes. So before we put our figure into play, that was Shady Lane, wasn't it? Shall we go with this lovely, I'm absolutely loving this strawberry at the moment. What else have I got here? Well, I've got a blue that's quite dark. Yeah, that blue's a bit dark for this. Also blue black. The yellow I think will get lost because we've got the yellow in the background, so I'm going to go with the red to make it pop. And I really love this flower. It looks a bit like, to me, like a kind of almost like a arty tulip. It is. That's totally it, Christine. That's what I was trying to say at the very beginning, is sometimes when you look at something like this, kind of, you may initially go, huh? Because it's not a ready-made composition. The artwork hasn't been configured for you. But actually, they're really just fun shapes that work surprisingly easily together. So this was my thinking. I thought these vines would take this. Now, of course, that could be the other way up and growing upwards as well. There is totally no right or wrong with this. I'll put another, you know, I like my threes, so we'll put one up here. I feel like I need another one now. That'd be breaking the law of stamping, wouldn't it? There we go. So we're starting to frame around the area where we know we want our figure to go. So let me put the figure in, because then we know what we've got as a focal point to work around. So we're going to use this one, aren't we? Probably with this one I should use the stamping platform for the first impression, because I'm going to go for a solid black. But again, that's in my demo bag for tomorrow, so just let's live dangerously and hope we get a good impression first time. Looks like it's going to cover nicely. Yeah, we'll go like that. Just give it a little bit of time for the for that ink to really settle into the surface. Of course, with these, if because they're a solid image and they're fairly easy image to colour, if you don't get a full coverage, certainly if you stamped in black, then just go back in with a black marker and fill the image in. But I think they've done okay there. Doesn't that look amazing? I love that. Right, what else should we put on our tag? I think we'll put dance on. That's the only word. That's the only word in this collection, dance, because again, I wanted to really prioritize the imagery. I felt like with the grunge out type alphabet, with the sticker stack, with lots of other sentiments that we've brought you, and you've got Out From Elsewhere, no doubt. You've got enough words potentially, and I wanted this to be very much about the shapes. Oh yeah, I will. Yes, I will. I'll do that really quickly. Let me put dance on this, Jane. I was only making that noise because I was thinking I've not left enough space on this one. So we'll put that down here. And I'll mat that onto black. I'm just going to leave that there. I'm going to mat it onto black card, onto black tag, because this is a smaller size. Look, this is the smaller size tag. So we'll be able to mat it onto the bigger one and put it into my tag journal. But yes, good shout. Let me get a piece of card and I'll show you what I'm meaning when I'm blethering on about a shadow. So if we have our figure, and the dancers have got both figures, the dancer stencil has got both figures in, so you can do this with both of them. Let's do it with the other one, given we've used. And then I'll get a winner announced. So just on a piece of white cardstock here. So I'm not going to. What you can do to really kind of increase that look of a shadow is if you shaded. Have I got dirt on there already? If you kind of create a line and you've got your, so you kind of do some shading. So you've got your something that's grounding your top image. Put it towards the top there. And then get my stencil. So there's our figure running away in the corner. I know it's dancing, but it does it. That sample by Ali's perfect for just making it look like it's running away. So we've got that same figure in the stencil here, and let me show you. I'm fairly sure they fit because I'm sure I checked it earlier. So got pretty much the same, not exact, not designed to be that, but it's pretty much the same size as the stamped image. So therefore, let me have a look. So if I put it, which way best? I'm just going to put it so the toes are touching. So I've flipped it round. Belinda would be the best person for this because I'm never sure if I've got my shadows going the right way, but you get the idea. I'm going to use a bit of the VersaFine because I haven't got a black soot. But obviously with the shadow, you don't want it to be quite as dark as the main image. You could do lots of much more arty looks than this. Do you see what I mean? Does that looks to me like this. I should have done it the other way. I don't know if I should have done it the other way. Bella, are you on? Maybe it should, but you get the idea. Should it be in the other way? It might have had to be in the other way. But you see what I could honestly have an argument with myself for hours. But you can see if you put a line there between the two, then you've got that look of the kind of the shadow figure. And if you have got a sun or you've got some light source, you've got a moon, it could be a moon and it could be a kind of midnight figure running away from those scary abstract animals that Ali's created. I don't think. Maybe you're right, Ali. Maybe it should be both feet touching. Yeah, probably. That's why it looks slightly off. Probably, yeah. Probably should have been both feet touching. But you get the idea. Maybe both feet should touch, but in my abstract world, they don't. You get the idea though, don't you? Hopefully that makes sense, Jane. Yeah, totally. Same as me. It's either me running from a wasp or trying to open the freezer door to get the ice cream out without Mr. G hearing me, which I never succeed at. He's deaf, you know. He's absolutely deaf as a post. But if I open that freezer door, he's got bat-like hearing. Right, bear with me. Let me get my phone and let me turn the camera around. I know that's your least favourite part of the whole thing, seeing me again, but hopefully you like it. Hopefully it's something a bit different, but looking at the Matisse book at the beginning and just seeing how easily those kind of shapes, you can make a wreath, you can make it pretty, you can make it playful, quirky. It really, I think, is a very versatile set. And even if it's just for the foliage and the kind of that look of abstract greenery on projects, I think the stamps will absolutely earn their place in your stash. I think the dies with the vase and the foliage, I think, will work really well as well. So anyway, I like it, so I'm hoping you do too. Let me see who our two wonderful winners are this evening that Ali is already picked out. So we've got Ruth Hansford on Facebook. Congratulations, Ruth. And Lady Shippers, which is Helen, isn't it, on YouTube. So congratulations to both of you. I will send you that core collection with the embossing powder trio out, I think. Can you PM me? Can you message me on Facebook or send me an email on the Funky Fossil web shop, just in case I don't have your postal addresses? Because I'm down live shopping tomorrow, the prizes won't go out until Friday, but please do get in touch so that I've got your contact details to send those prizes out to. But I really, really hope that you've enjoyed that. It's a super quick demo, but remember, 2 hours tomorrow, 9 till 11, and we'll have a bit more of a play and delve into that, particularly kind of get the dies out and start to think about what we can do with those as well. But thank you. I've enjoyed your company this evening. Even if this isn't for you, hopefully it's got you thinking and your juices flowing for what you might do with other items you've got in your stash. But I haven't seen much that's like this out there, so hopefully it will add something new and unusual to your collection too. Enjoy the rest of your Wednesday. Enjoy the rest of your week. Hopefully you can join me tomorrow. And I'll be tuning back in again very soon. You know, you can't get rid of me. It won't be long. So I wish you a very fond good night and see you again soon. Bye for now.